Other Nigerians are threatening us, telling us that they are going to send us back from their region, especially the southwest. I saw some comments over the stand that Igbos made, saying that they don't want IDP in their region, in the southeast region. We know that the plan by the government to cause distraction and also make sure that there's insecurity in that region is a state-sponsored plan. But yet, let me use this word, our Yoruba brothers, some of our Yoruba brothers, we are taunting us. And it pained me so much that knowing fully well that deliberately the government has decided to neglect and abandon the southeast when it comes to projects, federal government projects. The government have decided to deliberately abandon the southeast. When you look at other regions, you see what the federal government has done, especially the southwest. What pains me the most is our Yoruba brothers. And these guys, they shock me every point in time. Don't let people say that you people are betrayers or backstabbers. I don't believe that every one of you are betrayers or backstabbers. They are very, very good and very, very exceptional Yorubas that I know. But when I see some people comment saying that they are going to destroy Alaba, they are going to send Igbos packing from Lagos, I see the hatred that people have for the Igbo people. And it's very dangerous. We are an endangered species in this climate. We are endangered because the hatred that people have for the Igbo people is unprecedented. When I started watching and reading the history of the Civil War and what happened after the Civil War and how people came and started writing the history of what happened, the lies, deceit, the misinformation by some other people of other region. When you watch the Opita panel and you follow that Opita panel succinctly, you will see that there was a deliberate attempt to misinform other Nigerians about the Igbo people because of a certain hatred. And this has been passed from one generation to another generation. Some parents in the southwest would tell their children never to identify, never to play, never to have anything to do with an Igbo person. I was born in the southwest. I'm even more of a southwesterner than to say I behave more like a southwesterner. If you know me very well, I was born in the southwest and I know very well. I was born in a Yoruba dominated community. So I was with them and I understand what is happening. Some parents would tell their children never to identify with an Igbo person. It is a culture that they have amongst them. So without any provocation, without anything, the young people will start seeing Igbos as a different kind of human beings. People that are not supposed to, that don't need men. It's so bad. Now, you know very well that in the southwest region, the federal government has invested heavily in the southwest region. That has attracted development to the southwest. In Ogun State, other states, in Lagos State. You know. And you know very well that the southeast have been neglected. If you were in our position, what would you have done? Why the hatred? Why I don't know. I don't know what to call this. This is evil and wickedness. If you're a southwesterner or from the southwest and you are telling us that you are going to chase us out of other regions or the southwest region because we have refused the IDP camp in the southeast. You are saying that the southeast is not safe. The southeast, they are not welcoming. The southeast, they are cannibals. The southeast, they are this. That's why their region is not developed. They are not welcoming. They are this. You only want to protect their region and destroy other people's region. You know that it is lies. From my research so far, I have seen that there's a deliberate misinformation about the southeastern people. People deliberately tell lies, even up to their professors, up to those that wrote some of their history. Like I told you, that it has been passed from one generation to the other that Igbo people are evil. Don't associate with them. You find it hard for an Igbo man to get a Yoruba woman to marry. But you find it easy for an Yoruba man to get an Igbo girl to marry. Who is now trying to create an enmity? Most Yoruba guys I know, they get married to Igbo. One of my sister got married to a Yoruba guy. But you getting married to a Yoruba lady, you see the way they will take you, as in, who is this person coming to our house to get? It is prevalent among these people. The hatred is so much. If you are in the Southwest, would you take 50% of the things that the Southeast has taken in Nigeria today? Would you take, if you want to tell yourself the truth? Why wallow in lies, deceit, and manipulation? Why wallow in, why dwell for generations from generation to generation? You have been taught to hate a certain tribe, and you go to church, you are pastors, you are deacons, you are what have you, you are religious, and all of you, and you have this hatred for a certain tribe. A pastor during the election said, I will not be a bastard to vote for P2B. That is where the hatred has gotten to. A pastor of a popular church is a popular pastor. He said it live on social media. It went viral. He said, I will not be a bastard to vote for P2B. That means the kind of Christianity you people practice is to be questioned. You can see subtle bigotry and ethnicity, tribalism among some of these people and some of these churches. They show it. It gets to a point whereby they will cleverly manipulate you and gaslight you out of a certain gathering because you are an Igbo person. It is okay not to cite a refinery in Igbo land, a railway in Igbo land, an airport in Igbo land, other ministries, parastatals, refining offices, NNPC, top government offices in Igbo land. It's okay not to cite it. Now you are giving us an excuse that it is insecure. You know very well that the government has a hand in the insecurity in the Southeast. If you want to tell yourself the truth, you know the truth and you deliberately shy away from the truth. And you are gaslighting yourself. No, you're not gaslighting us. You are saying that you will, since you don't want the Northerners to stay in Igbo land, you are not welcome, then we will chase you out of Lagos. We will go to Alagba and burn and do this and that. I told you, somebody told his neighbor. The neighbor is an Igbo person that owns a house. He said, when it's time, I will inherit your house. That person will wake up and go to church or go to mosque and pray to God. Do you think God is a Yoruba man? Or do you think God is from your ethnicity? You are praying to God of the heavens and the earth, and you still have the mind to think evil about the Igbo people. Whatever happens with the Igbo coup or whatever happened in that one is history. History. It is in the past. Why do you continue to join the North? Why do you continue to join the North to carry out atrocity on the Igbo people? You have everything within you to develop. The federal government has given you the opportunity, has positioned you well to develop. And you see that there is a region which fought for democracy, part of the region that were one of the pioneers in education, in politics, and everything you see in Nigeria today. They are being neglected. And still you support in that neglect. You support the political class in that neglect because you hate a certain tribe. What has the Igbo people done to the Southwesterners? What have they done to deserve all this? Would you take half of what the Igbos are taking? When you look at Lagos and the Southwest, it is well structured. Look at the parastatals. Look at the investment that the federal government invested in Lagos. Yorubas are rejecting regionalism through their politicians. We don't want to be part of regionalism, which they have clamored for, which Sunday Igboho was sounding loud and clear, obviously because he's running a campaign for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to become president, because they are threatening, if you don't allow us become president, we will divide Nigeria. We know that the Igbos has a stand. You are using the Igbos to cash out. You know that the Igbos already have said they are not going to be part of this contraption, this union. It is not going to, it's not benefiting them. You know that you are using the Igbos as a leverage to stand, because you can't stand alone. You cannot stand the North. You cannot stand alone. You cannot stand the North. You cannot stand whatever they can do to you, or however they can deal with you. You cannot stand it. Look at what happened in Kaduna. These folks left talking about the Kaduna mass destruction and attack. Warehouses were raised and burnt in a Yoruba community in Kaduna State. They left it. But when it comes to the Igbo thing, you see them bragging, raising their shoulders. I tell you, see, it is only Igbos that can stand any tribe. if we are saying, okay, let's divide Nigeria into two, we have the Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. The Igbo can confidently, comfortably stay with any of the tribes, but the Yoruba cannot stay alone with the Igbos. The Yoruba cannot stay alone with the Hausas. For instance, divide Nigeria into two. Okay, Yorubas and Hausas stay one side, Igbo stay one side. Igbo will agree. Igbo and Hausa stay one side, Yoruba stay one side. Igbos will agree. Igbos and Yoruba stay one side, Hausa stay one side. Yes, Igbos will agree, but the Yoruba can never stay neither with the Igbos nor the Hausas because they cannot stand alone to fight any fight. They are using the Igbos to bring up their shoulders. If the Igbos were to in any way have alliance with the North, the Southwest, they are in trouble. One of the reasons why I saw that, I looked at a political angle. They are using politics in this whatever IDP camp, whatever brouhaha, to cause enmity between the Igbos and the North, which are looking forward to an alliance come 2027. So when they bring this enmity amongst them, there will be further disagreement, further crisis, further strife amongst these two political blocks. This may be a cleverly planned or plotted, yes, action against that union, because Atiku P2B is what people are sounding. Atiku P2B, some people are willing to even compromise to make sure that APC does not stay more than 4 years in power. APC, anything APC, they are willing to compromise. The obedient movement, they are willing to compromise because of the evil that the Southwesterners has shown through Tinubu as president and as a Yoruba person. We are your brothers in the South. Instead of you to have our support, you are backstabbing us. You know that we don't have development. We don't have roads. Federal roads abandoned in the Southeast. You know all this. You know that it is criminal against the Southeast region and its development to bring in an IDP camp. You know it. You know the implications of bringing an IDP camp in the Southeast. You know it very well. You know that an IDP camp will not even stop at Imo State. It's going to go to Enugu. It's going to go to Abia. It's going to go to Ebonyi and Anambra. And it is a hub. It is a hub for these criminals to invade and infiltrate into the Southeast. You know, they tried with water resources, it did not work. They tried with Ruga, it did not work. They tried with grazing route, it did not work. And compulsory ranching, it did not work. How would a government fend and cater for a particular tribe that are doing their business? You have your cattle business, run it as other people run it in other places in the world. But you are looking for avenues to infiltrate into the Southeast and make sure that you cause more insecurity. These guys have a plan, a fundamental plan. When we read history, you will see how the Fulanis have been attacking the Yorubas, how the Fulanis have become an enemy to the Yorubas decades ago. Look at the Afonja. How did it come about? Look at Kwara State now. Look at what is happening. But yet, the Yoruba, they always want to play games with humanity. I said, you are first a human being before any other thing. You are not a Yoruba first. You are a human being. You'll be recognized in the afterlife as a human being. And what did you do with your humanity? That is the question that a higher power will ask you. What did you do with your humanity? So if you think that hating your brother, your fellow human being, because of one flimsy excuse is an excuse for you to stand before God, you are lying. You are just deceiving yourself. Human beings are precious before God, not Yoruba man. A Yoruba man is not precious before God. An Igbo man is not precious before God. It is that humanity that God created. He said, let us make man in our image and likeness. He was very much concerned about humanity and human beings. He created nature and gave man to subdue it. He didn't give man any religion. It is man that sought for a religion to get back to God. He was looking for a way for a kind of way to have access to God. You looking for a way to have access to God should not warrant you hate on God's image and likeness. See, it is high time We take this much more serious because this hatred is getting out of hand. Igbos should start thinking of how they are going to build from scratch. We do not complain that no CNG conversion center in the whole of the southeast. No CNG conversion center. Despite the fact that 70% of Nigeria's gas deposit is in the southeast. No CNG conversion center in the southeast. We do not complain. But yet, we want to bring in insecurity. It is a life and death, something that has to do with life and death now. Hope Uzodinma, you want to push some people to the wall. We don't have time for people that wants to set. I sometimes wonder whether this guy is an Igbo person. He wants good for the Igbo people. Or whatever things you are signing with the Fulani or the Buhari people with the Islamization of the Southeast, I don't understand. Whatever contract you have signed with them, you need to go and revoke that contract because it is not going to work. It will get to a point in time that we need to sacrifice our lives for the betterment of our younger ones. This hatred should stop with our generation. Like what Nnamdi Kanu said, the subjugation, the denigration of the Igbo man will stop with him. It has to stop with our generation. It has to stop. No, it has to stop. We need to put a stop to all this. We need to put a stop. We know that amongst the Igbos, there are people that are stupid. There are people that are senseless. There are people that when they act, you want to know whether they are human beings. But irrespective of that, we have that in every other tribe. That will not make you now look down on the Igbo nation. That will not make the politicians. I have not seen politicians as worse as Igbo politicians. These guys, nothing, they don't represent a real Igbo man. You see a real Igbo man. In the face of tyranny, in the face of subjugation, in the face of fierce opposition, he stands his ground. Are you afraid of the northern people in the house? Is it because of your greed? Because you don't want to lose your seat? That's why you're afraid to fight some battles. The Igbo man will stand his ground. Have you heard about the Igbo landing? Instead of them to become slaves, they need to die on their feet as free men. That is what an Igbo man is. It is time for Igbo people to start waking up to the reality. Any Igbo man that does not have sense, reset his brain with a very big slap. Reset his brain with a very big slap. You should know where you are. You should know who you are. These guys don't want you to progress. Know where you are standing. Look back home and make sure you fix home. So we don't want any IDP camp. What we want in the Southeast is development. We have not rejected development. No region will want an IDP camp. The Southeast is not ravaged. It's not ravaged. It's not in distress what people are making it to look like. The armies go and destroy homes. Look at what they did at Okwama community. They went to a community and they razed down the community. They killed some soldiers. Instead of them to fish out the killers, they went, look at the wisdom of the Nigerian military. Instead of them to go and fish them out, even though they are hiding in the community, lay siege on that community, fish them out. What you did was to just level the community to show a sign of what? Does that stop people from attacking you tomorrow? If we are sensible in this country, you should know that that does not stop civilians from having this hatred. Those that survived in that area, they will spread their hatred to other people for the Nigerian army, what they have done. And that hatred will germinate in the minds of other civilians. When they have opportunities, they will still attack the soldiers and even much more worse to the soldiers. They can't be defeated by that kind of action. But you went there and you start destroying their houses, you clear the whole area, and you think it's a victory, it's a win-win for the Nigerian army. That's how they went to the Southeast and started destroying houses, displacing people. Yet, Southeasterners, Igbos, are not internally displaced. Even though you destroy their houses, they find a way to survive. A typical Igbo man is not like a Northerner or some of those northern people, which depends on the government for whatever they are going to feed on. They are dependent on the government. They are not independent of themselves. So the Southeasterners are not people that are used to anything IDP. No, we don't have anything with IDP. If you are going to be a Northern youth, I said it before, coming to the Southeast, rent a house, rent a shop, come and buy a land, you'll be sold a land and obey the laws of the land. All this occupation of a thing, you come, you stay in the bushes, in the forest, you start killing farmers and this. We all know this. These our Yoruba brothers know this, but yet they decide in their mind to cast aspersions on us. They know that what we are saying is the right thing, but yet they decide to look the other way because of hatred. Or is it because we are not supporting Tinubu? Is Tinubu a Yoruba? It is your own loss. If you are associating Tinubu with Yoruba people, it is your own loss. If he's a Yoruba, then he's a president. Was it Yoruba votes that got him to the presidency? Is it not criticizable if there's a word like that? Can't we criticize him? So we criticize Tinubu and you think because of your tribalist, your bigot, you think everybody will think like you. I don't see Tinubu as a Yoruba person. It does not represent the Yoruba ethos, the Omoluabi ethos, ethics. He does not represent it. In everything, he does not represent it. His legacy is different from the legacy of Awolowo. So I don't think all the people he fought democracy with are against him, the Nadeko. So who are you to now start saying because you are attacking? Don't associate anything Tinubu to Yoruba, except you want to be, I don't know, unfortunate. What's the meaning of that? We want good leaders, irrespective. Ojukwu ran as president. We did not vote him because he's not in that purview of, at that point in time, to become a leader that we wanted. Whatever you want, like you think you have been gaslighting. Some of your political leaders in the Southwest have been gaslighting the Yorubas for a long time. And look at where we are today. If not for federal government development in the Southwest, only God knows. When you look at some hinter part of Ogun State, Osun State, another Ekiti State, you'll be surprised that Lagos, everybody is claiming Lagos. Southwest State, Lagos. Everybody's Lagos. They left all the indigenous of Lagos are not even ruling Lagos. Other indigenous of other states left their state and they now occupy Lagos because of federal government investment in Lagos. Is that a legacy that Wolowo wanted for the Southwesterners? Why don't you develop other places? What's happening to Ogun State on other places? So don't even bring the Tinubu issue here. Tinubu is not representing Yoruba people. He's the president of the Nigerian people, and he presents a Nigerian president as we speak, whether legitimate or illegitimate. So why hating on the Igbo people? Why hating on them? You cannot take this thing that they are going through, but yet you want to gaslight and want evil to come upon them. But see who God has blessed. No man can cause.